So after 20 years of being a professional carpet cleaner, I thought it was about time to look at some videos of carpet cleaning and give you my honest opinion as a professional, well, ex-professional carpet cleaner on how the jobs are and if you can do this at home, and basically just give you a reaction to the video. So let's dive into today's video. We're going to look at a video on how to clean your rug at home with no professional equipment. This kind of thing used to give me the fear. As a professional carpet cleaner, I used to get people, they would phone you up for a quote and then they'd say, I'll just do it myself. So let's dive into this video. It is a video by a channel called Clean That Up. I'll put a link to the channel below this video. So let's have a look at how good he can clean a rug at home without using any professional equipment.
No professional equipment, only stuff that he can go buy at the store and use himself. So I took on the challenge. We're going to get into it today and get this rug nice and clean. Nate, if you're watching, this video's for you, so let's get started. So the first thing to do is vacuum the rug on top and the bottom.
Okay,
now,
yep.
This is the most important step, I feel, because
yes, it
you
is.
remove as much of that dry soil
yes.
as you can before you get the rug wet. I see a lot of times people skip this step.
Okay, the first thing that I'm seeing just now, it is a synthetic looking rug. It looks like a machine made rug and it's not that expensive. And I would say the rug is actually pretty clean. It's worn, but it's clean.
Move forward with the actual carpet cleaner itself. So we're going to vacuum the top and bottom 2 or 3 times. Remove as much.
The way that you can tell if there's a lot of dry soil in the rug is when you flip it over and then you vacuum the back of the rug. When you lift it up, there should be a lot of dust because the vibration of the vacuum cleaner actually helps vibrate the dust out the rug. A lot of professional carpets will use a vibration machine to get the dust out this way. But when he lifts this rug up, he should show you some dry soil on the ground.
As much of that dry soil as possible, and then move on to the next step. So you may notice that I'm vacuuming kind of a 360 pattern. This is a great idea for kind of all rugs and especially like the shag or high pile rugs, because that way you can get a full vacuuming of all sides of the fiber. So now that the rug is...
So the first thing is it didn't show us any dry soil on the ground, which again says to me it is quite a clean rug.
It's nice and vacuumed. It's time to get into the cleaning. Now, a few things before we get started that I like to mention. Number one is don't mix your soap in your actual carpet cleaner tank itself. Reason being is then you're never going to be able to flush the soap out of the rug, and it's going to leave behind residue, get sticky, and
that's true.
And get dirty faster. So what I suggest is to mix it up in a pump-up sprayer like this. This is just a garden sprayer. These work great. Mix your cleaning agent in here with water. Because we can't use professional equipment, that also means professional chemicals and shampoos or cleaners. So for this, we're going to use Zep's Area Rug Cleaner. You can find this at big box stores or on Amazon. And then we're going to spray down the entire rug with the shampoo.
That was a lot of cleaning fluid that you actually put into that. Generally, when you've got something like that, you would be putting about a tiny amount, a lot less than what you put in. So first of all, I think I put in a bit too much cleaning agent into the sprayer.
Shampoo or the cleaner. We're going to let that sit for about 10 or 15 minutes and gently scrub it in. The other thing this does is allows dwell time. Dwell time is essentially giving the soap time to work and loosen up the dirt that's stuck to the fiber. So if you just spray it down and suck it up right away, it's not going to have time to do its thing. So giving it that dwell time is really going to help clean your rug even better. So another tip that you don't have to do, but I suggest doing it if the rug is very dirty, is after you've pre-sprayed it, we got our cleaner sitting on the rug and doing its thing.
So in the trade, this part's called agitation.
Soft bristle brush like this. I got this from just a local big box store. The key here is making sure the bristles are nice and soft, but this is just going to lightly agitate and work in that cleaner. So it loosens up, again, the dirt that's attached to the fibers themselves. So now that the rug has been pre-treated with our soap and scrubbed in with the brush, it's time to finally get cleaning. So for this, we're going to use the Power Dash Plus from Hoover. This is a great little carpet cleaning machine. It's actually pretty reasonably priced and does a really good job. Now
I will have a look at this machine. He said you can get it on Amazon. I will have a look at it, and I'll probably put a link under this video if I think it's any good as a domestic carpet cleaning machine.
Remember, we only have warm water in the tank here. We don't want to add any cleaners like I mentioned because our goal here is to flush.
What I would say is make sure the water is hot as you can actually get it.
Flush out not only all the dirt and soil in the rug, but also the cleaner too. So one thing I want to mention about this carpet cleaner is you can see there's a trigger right here. So this allows you to control the fresh water that gets put down on the rug. A good rule of thumb when using this to not over wet the area and saturate it with water is have it on while you push the machine up, and then when you're coming back, just vacuum, release the trigger, and suck all of that water that you just put down up.
Another tip that I would give you is give it as many dry passes as you can. So he's saying just one dry passage as he pulls back the way. I would actually say give it as, once you've actually went through the cleaning process, is give it dry passes sort of north, south, east and west. That's one of the oldest tricks in the book that carpet cleaners will do, especially the ones that are using small machines. They'll say, come and see how dirty the water is as they pour it down your toilet. You shouldn't really pour it down the toilet, and one thing is to make sure, well, you should pour it down the toilet, but make sure that you flush it away. I've seen too many times people will complain about carpet cleaners. They'll put all this grit down the toilet, and when they go to the toilet, there's all this grit in the bottom of the bowl.
So for this rug here, we went over it with 2 full tanks of fresh water and extracted about 4 or 5 dump tanks here. Now, a question I get a lot is, do I need to go until my dump water is clear? Usually that's not going to be the case with rugs. You're always going to have a little bit of dirty water.
Yes, that is true. You will have dirty water no matter how clean you think the rug is. When the water comes through, it will have little particles of, you only need a tiny bit of dirt to actually make that happen to water.
The way to look at it is more from the actual extraction tool on the top of the machine and see what's being still sucked up as you go. If that water is starting to run clear, that usually means the rug is clean. If you still see dirty water being extracted through the top of the machine, I would keep going. Another test you can do to see if the rug is clean is grab a nice clean white towel and then gently scrub at a section of the fibers. If you get
no, never ever scrub a rug like that, especially if it's an antique rug. You'll distort the fibers. So what I would do, and I'd advise anyone to do, is dab your white cloth onto the rug and then just put pressure on it, and then you take the pressure off. You'll see if there's any dirt on the rug. Never scrub like that.
Dirt to transfer to the white towel, you're going to want to continue flushing. If you get a nice clean towel, it's just wet, you should be good to go. The rug is nice and clean. Now, if you don't have access to a carpet cleaning machine, you can also power wash the rug after applying the pre-treat and scrubbing it in, or hose it down really well. The only thing that you're going to run into is you need to get as much of that moisture out of the rug as possible because it's going to take a little bit longer to dry.
What I will say at this point, if you have, now this rug that they're showing you getting power washed is a woolen rug and it's not a synthetic one, so they'll have to get the moisture out as quick as possible, because when you have a woolen rug like this, and you'll get colour run, so you'll get the red running into the white and things like that, and that happens when you don't get the moisture out correctly.
I suggest using a squeegee to push all of that water off the surface of the rug. The other thing too, just to be mindful of, you only want to do this if it's a synthetic rug. Wool rugs can be washed this way, but they're much more tricky, so I wouldn't risk it. I would call a professional. So now that the rug is clean, it's still wet, and we need to get it dry.
So he said he wasn't going to use any professional equipment, but the first thing that he uses at the end of this video is a big professional fan to dry the rug.
As fast as possible. So for this, I suggest some sort of fan, whether it's a box fan like this or a little snail fan. The key here is getting
the snail fans. That is a professional piece of equipment, and I wouldn't blow the air just over the top of the rug. You actually want the air blowing underneath the rug. So if there's a way that you can attach, I mean, if you've got one of those fans, you would have the air blowing underneath. The carpet flies about, but it does dry the rug a lot quicker.
As much airflow over the surface of the carpet so all the moisture inside can evaporate. There you have it. This rug cleaned up great. Nate, now you know.
So yeah, he managed to clean a clean rug. He did use some professional equipment. Can you clean a rug like this at home? Yes, you can, especially if it's a synthetic rug like this, if it's a cheap IKEA type rug if you're in the UK, or if it's just a sort of $20-30 rug like this particular one that they're showing you in the video. You can clean rugs like this, but if it is a more expensive one, make sure that you do call a professional carpet cleaner. On that note, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you on the next one.